Hi, and welcome to the Ask Dr. Angela podcast with everyone's favorite OBGYN, Dr. Angela Jones. Have you ever been too embarrassed or shy to ask your own doctor about your, girl parts? Well, you've come to the right place to get straight answers. Feel free to ask Dr. Angela anything women's health related. Obstetrics and gynecology? She keeps it real. Pregnancy? She's been there, done that. Menopause? She'll get you through. Young or old, Dr. Angela's got you covered, girl. Now here's Dr. Angela.
What's good, people? This is Dr. Angela, everyone's favorite OBGYN, and I would like to officially welcome you to episode 259 of the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. I am finally hitting my stride again. It seems like it's been a while since I've rocked the mic, but I'm so happy to be back. It's funny how life happens. This flu season this year has been crazy. It's like insane. My mini-me, unfortunately, did come down with the flu. It was so bad that I, Dr. Angela, and my wife, we ended up actually taking her to the ER because she kept spiking these temperatures of 104. And even though we did call her pediatrician, who's a good friend of ours, and got her input, when it's your own kid and, kids have been dying so much this year from the flu, we just took her in just to make sure that everything was okay. And finally, she is back to being her usual funny, quirky self. Just happy to have her back and feeling better. But anyway, it's just really nice to be back. I've missed you guys. I've been so busy again with life, final preparations for the book, the blog posts, and just, numerous partnerships that the brand is forming. And the nice thing about Dr. Angela is that we get asked questions from all over the world. And certainly, I get an opportunity to be featured in a lot of articles online and hard copy in various publications, etc. And for that, I'm super, super, super grateful. So jumping right into today's topic, I was recently asked about a post-sex routine for women post, doing the do. And this isn't like a striptease or some kind of encore pole performance. That's not exactly what they were talking about. But, the more that I reflected on this, I'm like, yeah, women should have some kind of post-sex routine. And that can be anything as minor as washing your hands, because, our fingers and hands do a lot of interesting things during the act of sexing. A lot of probing, stroking, tasting, sucking, etc. I don't know that I need to go into any more detail than that. But also, just in general, washing your hands. The other thing that I certainly would recommend that you include in your routine might be hydrating. Most folks that I know that are having great sex sweat a lot. It's like quite a workout, right? And so your body is going to need to be replenished from all of those fluids, no pun intended, that are probably all over the place. Sweat and, juices, etc. I'll let your mind wander from there. So making sure that you're hydrated is also really a good idea. The other reason to hydrate is to flush your system. Flushing your system, the more you drink, you will urinate. Make sure that you are avoiding post-intercourse. That will help to get all those bacteria that may be in or around your urethra out, so that you decrease the risk of ending up with a urinary tract infection. One of the things that I personally like to do, and I'm going to give you a page out of a chapter in my book, is I like a nice hot bath with some nice oils in it. That's not only moisturizing and hydrating to your skin, but it just feels good. After performance like that, girlfriend, you deserve nothing but the best. Continue to pamper yourself post fun and games. Again, no pun intended. The other thing, if you don't want to, get a hot bath like I like to, the other thing to do is just make sure that you, get like a warm cloth, use a mild soap, and just, wipe yourself down, wipe your girlfriend down. It doesn't have to be anything too involved, but it's just a way to get, number one, get rid of bacteria that may be around your orifices out of the way, but also to get rid of any extra lube that might be hanging around, as this can serve as an irritant and also a means of spreading bacteria. One of the biggest complaints that women have sometimes post-intercourse is vaginitis, i.e. yeast infections or bacterial vaginosis, and UTIs. And then last but not least, another thing to consider doing post a romp in the sack or tumble in the hay, so to speak, eat you a good snack. You deserve it. And certainly something that you might want to consider is, yogurt or something that has probiotics in it. I'm not 100% sure that I buy into the whole, eat more probiotics because they decrease yeast infections, but I certainly don't know that I think it couldn't help. I mean, certainly, the flora in the vagina is super sensitive. And so, feeding your body those things which it needs, I think is only beneficial. And then last but not least, you don't have to put your clothes on. Go commando. Let your girlfriend breathe. Air out. I hope that these post-sex routine tips have proven to be helpful. Hopefully you will incorporate 1, 2, 3, or 4 of them into your routine. If nothing else, they'll certainly help decrease, again, those 2 big nagging things that I don't know any woman that likes, yeast infections and bacterial vaginosis. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am never at a loss for topics. I'm telling you, between all of the questions that I get from you all and all of the queries I get from the media at large, I'm never going to run out of interesting material to share with you all. In closing, I'm going to share a quote from Winston Churchill. I recently saw The Darkest Hour, which I enjoyed immensely. And so now I've kind of been on this Winston Churchill kick. A really wise guy. He had a lot of interesting things to say. But anyway, one of my favorite quotes from him is the following: "If you're going through hell, keep going." And I like that quote because at the end of the day, as my father, as my mom, and a lot of wise people once said, at the end of the day, this too shall pass. Until next time, look better, feel better, be better. I cannot wait to reconnect with you on episode 260 of the Ask Dr. Angela podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Ask Dr. Angela podcast. For more information on women's health and the show notes for this episode, please visit Dr. Angela at www.askdrangela.com. While you're there, don't forget to leave your own message for Dr. Angela. See you soon! All of the information provided and discussed in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and should not take the place of consulting a physician. This podcast is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease or illness and does not and should not replace treatment from a medical professional.